How's it going, guys? My name is Fives, and I'm here for Delinquent Velociraptor Media. We're going to do a little PTCGO today. I wanted to show you guys a very interesting deck I faced against the other day. I've been playing a lot of Sylveon-GX lately. This card is sweet. Magical Ribbon is awesome. Fairy Wind's decent, and Plea-GX is interesting if you need to get rid of some things that have already been set up. But what I faced the other day was Sylveon plus Garbodor, Trash-Garbodor, which is a really cool card, deals damage based on the number of item cards in my opponent's discard pile. And Sylveon's trainers you play help put a lot of item cards in your opponent's discard, so they seem to work well together. I've been messing around with it here and there. One of the best new places to find decks is things you lose to, and that's where I find a lot of the things I play. I thought it was interesting. So we're running the Energy Evolution Eevee, a couple of Sylveon, and then just Trubbish and Trash-Garbodor. Energy, I'm on 11. I'm not 100% sold on this number. I may mess with it some more. 1 DCE, 6 Fairy, 4 Psychic, and then Trainers. Hammers. Hammers are super important for this deck. Sort of tempoing your opponent out. Field Blower. To get rid of tool cards in stadiums. This is really good against things like Rayquaza. Get rid of Spirit Links. Get rid of the stadium that lets them have more Pokemon out. You have your level balls and your ultra balls. 2 max potions for healing Sylveon back up. Let it soak some more damage. 1 Professor's Letter. This is probably a little iffy. I run it just because I am trying to pull 2 different types of basic energy. So I thought that was worth a shot. Parallel City and Silent Lab, kind of shut down different things in your opponent's bench and turn off abilities. And then for trainers, I run 2 Delinquent. It should probably only be 1, but I really like this card. Getting rid of my opponent's stadiums, or even mine if necessary, to discard 3 cards from their hand, I think is super useful. 2, I believe it's just 2 Lily. 2 Lily, 1 Lysander, couple of N, couple of Sycamore. Here's Team Flare Grunt. This one's super important as well. You don't always have your hammers, or you could be under item lock for some reason if you're playing against Vileplume, something like that. So you can discard energy with Team Flare Grunt instead. Team Skull Grunt to get energy out of their hand, and sometimes this just gets you a look at what your opponent has, which is always super useful as well. And then Team Rocket's Handiwork. I'm playing 2. You can play this or you can not. I think it's fun. I have won a game or 2 actually milling my opponent out by getting enough flips and having them discard cards. So it is a good time. So that's what I'm playing. We'll save that. And we'll jam a couple of games with it on the versus ladder real quick. Sylveon-Garbodor. Let's see what we got out there. You see some really competitive decks on the ladder. You see some really interesting and unusual decks on the ladder sometimes. You never really know what you're going to get into. People play against a lot of stuff. I play a lot of weird stuff on the ladder. I play a deck that has Minior in it, that has the Cosmic Explosion attack, which is probably super terrible, but I think it's really funny. So I'm going to lead Eevee. We'll bench the Trubbish. Depending on what he's playing, either go get another Eevee or another Trubbish. And then hopefully Lily into a bunch more cards. The one thing I like about Lily is if it is turn 1, you go up to 8 in hand instead of 6, which is sweet. Ooh, okay. I'm going to get the other Eevee. Okay, there's only 1 more in the deck. That's fine. And don't do what I just did. If you get a chance to look through your deck for whatever reason, if you use Ultra Ball or something, go see what's in your deck, see what you're missing, maybe try and figure out what you've got prized. Okay, Drampa. Ooh, Rainbow Drampa. That's super odd looking, but I kind of like it. And Yungoos, so we will be getting Gumshoed later, more than likely. Let's go ahead and Lily, see if we can find some energy. Fantastic. Let's go and attach, and Energy Evolution, when you attach an energy to it, go find an evolution of that energy type and attach it. So we're going to go get a Sylveon. Can't attack because it's the first turn, but next turn we will definitely be using Magical Ribbon. So search for any 3 cards in your deck, put them in your hand, shuffle your deck afterwards. It's fantastic. You can go get your hammers, your team flare grunts, skull grunts. Okay, and he only attaches one energy and passes again, which is fantastic. So since I'm going to go get energy or whatever I need with Magical Ribbon, I am... I don't want to really discard down this many cards. I'm actually going to Skull Grunt and see what he's on. Oh, fantastic. Take that DCE. Whimsicott and Dodrio. Okay. And Mega Turbo and... Okay, and Skyfield. So this is... You're possibly looking at something like Mega Rayquaza or something if he's playing Skyfield. That's super interesting. I'm really curious as to what he's doing. I'm going to try and keep this Parallel City for as long as possible to lay over top of an opponent's Skyfield later on if I need to. I'm going to go ahead and grab Garb and Sylveon and I think a Hammer just to kind of try and slow him down next turn. And hopefully we don't get end. And honestly, I regularly get end after Magical Ribboning. People, I think, are starting to hold their ends when they see their opponent playing Sylveon. And that was enough for him. Okay, well, I'm going to leave it in there. We did go through some stuff about how the deck works. And we'll just go ahead and go straight into another game. That was unfortunate. I kind of wanted to see what the rest of his deck was, because Skyfield doesn't have to just be Mega Rayquaza. It can also be Circle Circuit Raichu. It can also be the Passimian, which I have played. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but it is really fun. And Passimian just kind of looks cool. So it's got kind of like a soccer thing going on. I kind of like that. Okay. We will lead Trubbish. Super good chance I will toss that Max Potion and maybe that Hammer or that Grunt turn one to go get an Eevee. Ooh, okay. He's got the... Oh, mercy. Okay, Decidueye. Decidueye. Okay, that's fine. We will... Okay, I'm actually going to pitch the Grunt instead and the Max Potion. We will go find us an Eevee. Play it down, and I'm just going to pass. I don't want to get rid of the Sylveon or the Hammer. Okay, so he's playing Decidueye with a Rangaroo. I see a lot of people, throwing Rangaroo around next to Shaymin-EX. It is not a replacement, but if you're on a budget, which I don't have any Shaymin, so this is what I work with, and Instruct, draw 3 cards, or draw until you have 3 cards in hand, is actually decent. It is totally usable, and you can win without playing Shaymin. It's easier to win if you're playing Shaymin, but you can do it. It's totally possible. So we're going to Hammer, try and get rid of the Glass Energy. Okay, I really want to dig for a Stadium now to override his Forest of Giant Plants, so I'm going to Sylveon. And as much as I don't want to pitch versus Seeker and I don't want to give him 3 more cards, and I really want to see 7 instead of 6. So we're going to Sycamore. Fantastic. All right, we're going to put that there. Okay, so part of me wants to go ahead and drop the Silent Lab just so I don't get Decidueyed literally next turn. Part of me also doesn't want to shut off Eevee. But since I've already got one Sylveon, I'm going to go ahead and drop Silent Lab. Shut off his abilities so he can Instruct. And I think I'm just going to pass. I could VS Seeker back either the Sycamore or the End, or the Team Flare Grunt if I wanted to. I already have one of those in hand. Oh, this is... Okay, this is cool. I've not seen a whole lot of Decidueye Lurantis. That's super interesting. Okay, and he's going to retreat into a Rangaroo. I think he's going to try and buy himself some time, particularly since I've got him ability locked. So set up behind that 120 HP. And if you're playing a Rangaroo, that is totally a viable thing to do. It will take a hit or two. Only gives up 1 prize card. Really, honestly, not that bad. Definitely not VS Seekering the Inn. I could Sycamore. I really don't want to pitch 2 more trainer cards and another VS Seeker, so I'm just going to Lily for 2 and hope we get there. Okay. Garbodor's a good start. Gonna go ahead and put this Psychic Energy... I'm sorry, not Psychic, Fairy Energy there. And we're just gonna pass, I think. I could put it on Garbodor. You're not going to use Acid Spray that often unless your opponent just has nothing in their discard pile. Which actually, okay, so he does have Lurantis up. I play Lurantis with Solgaleo. It is a sweet card. It could give us some problems, and I think he just end, which is fine. I don't mind 6 new cards. Sweet. Now I don't have to worry about energy evolution, and I have the energy I need for Garbodor. As long as he doesn't knock me out this turn, which is totally possible. He may have a Float Stone. I don't think he can fully power up Lurantis, though. Okay, so this is, wow, this is Decidueye, Lurantis, and Vileplume. This guy is going super, super deep. And I kind of dig it, actually. So he's got the Dartrix. He can go ahead and evolve. Now, unless he hits a Forest of Giant Plants, which he did. Wow, I should not have said that. Okay, so for those of you guys not familiar with Forest of Giant Plants, each player's grass Pokemon can evolve during his or her first turn, or the turn he or she plays those Pokemon. So you can just boom, 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 evolve, 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 turn 1 Decidueye, turn 1 Vileplume. If you've got the Oddish, it is not that bad. Okay, so he wastes his 1 energy for the turn, retreating Oranguru, and burns a DCE, which I'm super not mad about. That's fantastic. Okay, so we're going to go here. Now I'm super tempted to hold. I don't want to pass the Crushing Hammer since he has no energy. I'd like to be able to get rid of whatever he has. I'm not super worried about the number of cards in my hand. How many items does he have in his discard? 3, 4, 5. Okay. You know what? We're going to get a little... Ooh, okay, other option. So I was going to Lysander up the Decidueye, go ahead and start hitting it, because that's 5 items, so that is 100. Or I can just go ahead and knock out the Oddish and not have to worry about being item locked as quickly. That is also super, super tempting. This may be a mistake. I want to see where this gets me, because item lock is not something Sylveon or Garbodor particularly appreciate. Okay, level ball. That'll let me set up towards another Garbodor. That's not bad. I'm totally okay with that. Item lock really shuts down Sylveon. You really need to be able to use your hammers, your stuff like that. Okay, so what is he pitching? He is pitching... Ooh, okay. Gloom and an N. And he just... What is that? Nest Ball? Okay. Nest Ball for another Rowlet. Rowlet is my favorite starter from this generation. It's an adorable, snarky little owl, and he's fantastic. Okay, so... A lot of decks... A big part of the meta right now is Decidueye Vileplume. There is also Lurantis Vileplume. I don't see them all 3 together very often. Ooh, he pitched another Forest of Giant Plants. That's great. Big fan of him doing that. Now, he is going to go ahead and get both Decidueye up and running. Decidueye, for you guys who aren't familiar, Feather Arrow is its ability, once during your turn before you attack, you may put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. Whichever one you please. That can be a huge pain in the butt. I'm just going to be honest. So that's going to rack up pretty quickly. So he's going to go ahead and Feather Arrow, excuse me. He used Rescue Stretcher, which is a new card from Guardians Rising. Put a Pokemon from your discard into your hand, or 3 of them from your discard back into your deck, and I think he got a full Oddish to Vileplume line. Oh, he's spreading the counters out. That's interesting. And then he's going to go ahead and use the Flower Supply on Lurantis to go get 2 basic energy from his discard. Put him on any of his Pokemon he likes. He may... Okay, he's going to fully... Is he going to fully power up Lurantis? That's interesting. Okay, so... Definitely going to just lead with that Crushing Hammer. Okay. Did not get that. That's fine. Not a big deal. Let's go get... Let's see what's left. So we have 2 EVs. Trubbish. Okay, so we basically have all of our Pokemon left. That's fantastic. Still have a couple of hammers to work with. Okay. Decent number of trainers. Okay, so here's one thing we're going to have to be careful with. Only 1 draw trainer left in the deck. We do have 2 VS Seeker in our hands, so don't want to get rid of those anytime soon. So I really want to pick up a couple of cards here. And since we are short on trainers in the deck, I really don't want to Sycamore. As much as I don't want to give him 3 more cards, I think I'm going to go ahead and end. Give myself 5. Okay, sweet. Enhanced hammers, I'm going to say in this version of Decidueye are probably useless. There is a rainbow energy version of Decidueye. Probably see some use there. But unless he's playing DCEs, which he is, so may get some utility out of him there, but they're not as big a deal as the regular hammers are going to be. I'm going to go ahead and drop this on this Sylveon so I can pick up and Magical Ribbon when I bring it in if I need to. And we're going to go ahead and trash a Lurantis. Not for knockout, 160, so he has 8 item cards in his discard. That's not bad. More than likely, he will use both Decidueye triggers, both Feather Arrows, to knock out Garbodor, force me to bring something else up, and then hit... Ooh, okay, Pokemon Center Lady as well. And then hit me with Lurantis. Probably Solar Blade, if I... Oh, no, he's still going to spread him out. He plays really interesting with his Feather Arrow counters. Just throws them all over the place. He could have knocked out Garbodor clean and then attacked something else. So that was not what I was expecting him to do. Okay, so 210, 70, 140. I cannot do that much with Sylveon, but I can do that much with Trubbish if I find another Garbodor. That's sort of a big if. I'm a little... Yeah, I think we're going to have to VS Seeker back a Sycamore and go digging. So we're going to drop that on Trubbish, drop Eevee. Go ahead and get rid of that DCE. You don't need those. Don't worry about those. Those are not something you need right now. And as much as I would love to Team Rocket's handiwork him, 19 cards is plenty for him not to worry about me getting rid of at most 4. So I'm just going to go ahead and Sycamore and see if we can't pick up... Okay, that's a bit of a thing. We'll bench the other Trubbish. That's a little frustrating. I can't retreat Trubbish. The Sylveon, so... Trubbish is going to throw a little bit of a fit, and he's going to stomp off right now. We're going to see if we can't discard something super useful from the top of their deck. Okay, getting rid of an Oddish is not something I'm upset about. That seems fine. He's probably on like a 3-2-3 line for the Oddish. Maybe a 2-2-2 somewhere. Okay, so he's actually going to burn another Rescue Stretcher. All right, where's he going? He's just straight up getting the Oddish into his hand. Okay, so that makes me think probably Gloom. Yep. And maybe the Vileplume? Am I getting straight up item locked here? He's going to go for it. Okay, so he's going to draw. He's going to drop his Lily, draw back up to 6. We're not in the best position ever, but we're still in decent shape. He's not got a ton going right now other than on Lurantis. He is really spreading around those counters. I think he's trying to set up to eventually just completely go nuts and just knock out a bunch of stuff at one time. Okay, we need to see some more cards, so I'm going to go ahead and Sylveon, and we're going to Magical Ribbon with this one. How do I want to go about this? Okay, we're going to Flare Grunt one of those energy off. How many energy are in his discard? Okay, only those 4. Which he can easily get back with Flower Supply if he wants to. Not a huge deal. I think Trubbish is the way I'm going to deal the most damage, so I think that's where we're going to go with this. I'm going to leave... Okay, so if we want to go on the Garbodor plan, then I'm tempted to max potion all this damage off Sylveon, but I'll lose all the energy on it. I think I'm going to do it. If we're going to go the Garbodor plan, we really only need 1 Fairy energy on Sylveon just to get me deeper through my deck. So, actually, let's go ahead and Magical Ribbon. Use our attack for the turn. Going to get Garbodor, a Hammer. I'm not really that worried about Forest of Giant Plants at this point. He basically has all the things he needs, so I'm going to leave the Field Blower and the Silent Lab. I could get the Delinquent. He's got plenty of cards in his hand. Not super worried about it either. Let's actually go... I think he has another DCE. Yes, he does have another DCE. Let's go ahead and get the Enhanced Hammer too. And just hope he doesn't in us. He does already have 2 in his discard. Most decks only play 2 or 3. Some people play all 4. but I doubt he's going to end himself down to 4 cards out of having like 8 in his hand. Ooh, he's going to Lysander. Okay. All right, good. I was worried he was going to Lysander the Trubbish. He did not. He Lysandered the Sylveon. I like that. Okay. This may get Sylveon stuck, but that's just another turn of Magical Ribbon, so that's kind of okay. Not super upset about that. Okay, he's going to Solar Blade. That's fine. So he's going to knock me out next turn, but before then, we're going to cause him some problems. So we're going to go ahead and Enhance Hammer. That's his 3rd DCE gone. I doubt he's playing Special Charge, so those are probably stuck there. I'm a big fan of that concept. Go for there. I don't really want to dig any deeper since I'm going to go digging with Magical Ribbon here in a second. So I'm actually going to... Ooh, 13 cards left. Okay. So the correct thing to do here probably is Team Flare Grunt, one of the energies off of Lurantis, since more than likely he's going to have to Solar Blade to knock out. Part of me really wants to come back and get this Team Rocket's handiwork, since he only has 13 cards in his... No. Okay. Yeah, we're going to Team Flare Grunt. Go with the smarter decision. We will get that last Sylveon. You know what? I almost don't... Yeah, prize count doesn't really matter at this point. We're going to get that last Sylveon. I am out of hammers. I am also out of Flare Grunts. So actually, we're probably going to VS Seeker that Flare Grunt back. I want to be able to go off with that Flare Grunt again. We're going to get the DCE in case we do need to attack with the Sylveon on the bench. We'll go ahead and get the Delinquent. It's not a bad option to force him to pitch some cards. Apologies if some of the terms I use, like if I ever call this my graveyard instead of my discard pile, at my base level, I'm a Magic the Gathering player. And so sometimes I will throw around the Magic term for something instead of the Pokemon card term for something. Pokemon and Magic share a lot of the same names for general concepts. Oh, he very purposefully does not knock me out. Okay. So he's going to Flower Supply, try and move some energy around instead of actively trying to knock me out. That's really smart on his part. I like that, actually. So... now, I'm going to try and punish him by putting some more damage on Lurantis. Okay. Actually, what we're going to do... Alright. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to try this. This may end terribly. We're going for it. I'm going to Delinquent away his Forest of Giant Plants. Make him discard 3 more cards. He's already down 3 Forest of Giant Plants. He may run 4. I see some lists run 3. I see some lists run 4. We're going to hope he's only running 3 and that was his last one. We're going to evolve the Sylveon. We are then... And then I'm actually going to go ahead and, instead of hitting Lurantis, which I'm going to knock out next turn with Garbodor, I'm actually going to PTCGO both of his Decidueye back. So, PTCGO... put 2 of your opponent's benched Pokemon and all cards attached to them into your opponent's hand. So he now has to set those up from scratch. There's no Forest of Giant Plants in play. He may have one in his hand, and that may have been totally wasted. And if it is, that's fine. I wanted to take the opportunity to try and slow him down there. And since he hasn't just immediately tossed the Forest of Giant Plants out, I'm going to assume he doesn't have it. So we're not going to be getting Feather Arrowed anymore. Now he is going to take 2 more prize cards. He only has 2 left. We still have 5. We're in a bit of a tight spot. But I'm going to go for knocking out his Lurantis this turn with Garbodor. 10 cards left in the deck. I'm going to leave all of those there. Now, we are under item lock now, thanks to Vileplume being a huge jerk. It is actually just a stupidly good card. Irritating Pollen. Each player can't play any item cards from his or her hand. All those are stuck there now. So... let's actually see. I'm assuming he's got enough item cards for me to knock out anything I want to. 3, 6, 8, 10. 10. Okay. 10 actually isn't enough to knock out Lurantis. That's a little frustrating. Let's go ahead and Lily for 3 more cards. No. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and Trash Lanch. I don't believe this is going to give me the knockout. That's a little frustrating because he can revenge knock me out. He's burned through so many cards, but there are actually only 10 item cards. That's a little frustrating, but that's okay. He is going to knock us out with Lurantis's, what is it, Solar Blade? Yes, and he's going to heal him. The other problem here is that I don't have enough energy on Sylveon, because I believe my only DC is in my discard pile. It is. I don't have enough energy on Sylveon to knock him out. So, Mill Plan is not an option. Only 5 cards left in my deck, which is not great either. So, we're going to Magical Ribbon. I may not actually get anything. We're going to Handiwork. We're going to Silent Lab, and we're going to Eevee. And I'm pretty sure we're not going to win this game. Pretty sure he's going to heal up with Lurantis one more time, put 120 damage on Sylveon, and kind of... Okay. So, that's... Yeah. We are done here. I'm going to let him do his thing, get the knockout. So this is something we did run into. That is sort of the problem with Vileplume. And he just did not put as many item cards in his discard as I thought. So if you're playing something, he's actually up to way more now. But if you're actually... No, it's still the 10. Still the 10. Because stadiums do not count. So if you are playing something like Garbodor, where Trash Lynch does 20 for each item card, definitely keep an eye on how many item cards your opponent has in their discard pile. Because I was 1 short. If he had had 11, I could have knocked him out. But that was not the case. That is my bad. And what I would really like to do, actually, we're going to go ahead and drop the Silent Lab. Not that it's going to really get us anywhere. I'd love to VS Seeker back an N. Put all these cards back into my deck. But we are still item locked, so sure, we will Team Rocket's Handiwork. Get those cards out of there. So we're going to take him down to 5. He'll draw to 4. We are going to Fairy Wind and knock Lurantis out. All he has to do is pass the turn. We only have 1 card left, and we will draw that card. Actually, that gives us 2 turns. But he should be able to just move around enough damage counters and... Or actually... Yeah, Razor Leaf actually just straight up does 90, and he takes the victory. Drop him a little smiley face. I didn't go through in time. Okay. So we took the loss there. But this is still just about... So to some extent, this is still about learning. And I did pick up some things there. Hopefully you guys did too. So we're going to give it one more run. Ooh. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and assume that Water, Fire, plus Psychic probably means Volcanion. And then the Psychic being Hoopa to go dig for more EXs. I'm going to guess this is either Volcanion or Turtonator Volcanion. Our Volcanion matchup is not the worst. It's definitely not our best. They blow through energy a lot faster than we can... Scorched Earth. Okay. They blow through energy a lot faster than we can discard it using our hammers and flare grunts. So they typically don't have to worry about that part of what we're doing. Now, if he does keep missing and keeps letting me draw new cards, that would be fantastic. So anytime you don't have a basic Pokemon in your hand, you have to mulligan. But that is the only time you can mulligan. Draw a new hand, try and find a new basic. Okay, definitely Volcanion. Thankfully, he's going first, so he can't just straight up knock Eevee out. Because that would super not be cool. So next turn, definitely drop that Fairy Energy to Energy Evolve. Go find us and a Sylveon. For you guys who aren't familiar with Volcanion, Volcanic Heat can't attack during your next turn if you do that, but they are super built to switch in and out around things like that. And the big thing that makes Volcanion ridiculously good is Steam Up. Once on your turn before you attack, you may discard a Fire Energy from your hand. If you do, your basic Fire Pokemon's attacks do 30 more damage. So even just steaming up the baby Volcanion's power heater 2 or 3 times, you're still doing more than 100 damage, which is crazy. Okay, so he is going to Hoopa. Scoundrel Ring lets you go find 3 Pokemon EXs, except for another Hoopa. Oh, the ability to infinitely loop those would be real crazy. You get to put them in your hand. So it looks like he went and got at least... The only thing he's dropped that he got was 1 Volcanion. Okay. Kind of thought he might go get a Shaman. Try and keep going off, but it doesn't look like that's the case. All right, let's see what we have. Okay, so we still have our full Trubbish Garbodor. I think we have 1 prize Garbodor. Okay. We have 1 prize Sylveon, which is not my favorite thing, but it's not bad. Have all our hammers, except for an enhanced. Most of our trainers. Okay, we do not have a ton of energy in the deck. So several energy cards prized. We have, I think, 2 fairy and 1 psychic prized. So we can work around that. That's not a huge deal. We are going to go ahead and Crushing Hammer. Let's go ahead and take it off of Big Volcanion. Lillian here doesn't do much, and I kind of want to put those energy back in my hand. I don't want to give him 3 more cards, but I think I need to get a fresh start. Okay, sweet. So we'll in him back, drop that Trubbish, go ahead and Professor's Letter to get a Psychic, and actually we're going to get 2 Psychic. And then we will Magical Ribbon and go get another Eevee, a Hammer, and we're going to go ahead and get a Silent Lab. See if we can't shut off his Steam Up ability. That would be really, really useful. He can still do, a decent amount of damage. A lot of fire type attacks hit really hard. Steam Artillery, it's not the greatest attack in the world, but 100 damage is hefty. That does 2-hit KO Sylveon. And Volcanic Heat will knock out Garbodor clean. It will... That and any other attack basically will knock out Sylveon. Oh, hello. Okay, so this dude's gone deep. He's got this Volcanion, which I actually really like that one. He also has the secret rare Volcanion. That thing is... Ooh, yeah. I'm hoping he actually plays that. I want to be able to show that off. That thing is really pretty. Yeah, that thing is lovely. I'm gonna drop it. You have a good deck. Volcanion is a big part of the meta right now. I think fire decks to some extent are going to be a big part of a meta that has things like Decidueye, popular grass decks active. But then you also have sort of the Lapras or Alolan Ninetales water box decks that kind of counteract Volcanion. It's a weird meta right now. We're going to go ahead and get ourselves a Garbodor, Crushing Hammer. I'm going to be honest, I don't really think I'm going to go ahead and take that one. I don't think Enhanced Hammer is going to do a whole lot. They might be playing I think it's called Blaze Energy, that comes back when it gets discarded. I don't think Volcanion play particularly many of that. I'm going to go ahead and Handiwork and just see if we can't get rid of some of his... We do. Okay. We actually just straight up take 4 cards away from him. Okay. Couple of... Wow, that is all his Ultra Balls. And 2 of his Trainer Mails. Okay, so 8 items in the discard right now. And a Shaman. Ooh, okay. I like all of those things a lot. I'm going to get a Sylveon since we are under item lock. I can't Energy Evolve. Go ahead and get another Trubbish, I think. No, actually, we're going to get a Hammer. And I think we're actually going to go ahead and get a Flare Grunt. And just see if we can't kind of lock his energy down. This is interesting. Okay, Fisherman. So he had 2 energy, so he's going to put those into his hand. 4 basic energy, up to 4 from your discard pile. Back into your hand. Ooh, Field Blower. Okay, that's super not fun. He's getting rid of our Silent Lab so that he can start steaming up again. He does have the energy in his hand to do so. So 100, 120, 140. So even if he discards again, he can't... Oh, he will. He has the Muscle Band. Okay, so Muscle Band... I'm sorry, not Muscle Band. Choice Band. 30 more damage to active GX and EX Pokemon. Super interesting card given to us by Guardians Rising recently. So we're going to put that energy on Eevee. No, I'm just going to actually play this one from my hand. Drop a Trubbish. Okay, so Trashalanche, 20. So he's got 130. So we need him to have 7 item cards. 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10. Okay, so I am going to Crushing Hammer, but I am actually going to take the energy off of this Volcanion. I am not going to Team Flare Grunt. I am going to in. That'll give him 1 more card, but I'd like to see some more options. Okay, so if one of us plays another Stadium, I can delinquent him next turn. I'm gonna Level Ball just to take a basic out of my deck. I think I want to go Trubbish. Yeah, I think that's the route I'm gonna go with it. And then we're gonna go ahead and Trashalanche. For how much? 200. Oh my goodness. Okay, so he has 10 item cards in his discard pile. Parallel City. Awesome. So maybe make some of his fire attacks a little weaker. That will semi-negate a Steam Up. A single Steam Up. I'd really rather that was my second... oh my goodness. Silent Lab. There we go. So he's going to Steam Up. Power Heater, choose 2 of your bench, attach a fire energy from your discard pile to each of them. So it not only makes it do more damage, but it also gets him back the energy he was discarding to do it. Wow, 6 fire energy in his discard. Oh, he's going to Lysander. Okay. I was actually expecting him to maybe Fisherman, but he's going to Lysander up the Sylveon. Okay. That is very interesting. It's not what I was expecting him to do there, but that's okay. He knows I can't knock him out with it. I would love to hit a DCE. Toss both of those Volcanion back into his hand. That would be super fun. I'm going to weaken his fire type attacks. I think we're actually just going to drop the Psychic here. Oh. You know what? No. We're going to straight up delinquent away our Stadium to get those last 2 cards out of his hand. One of the big hallmarks of Sylveon is keeping your opponent off as many resources as possible. So we're going to try that right now. That is what I'm going to shoot for. And he has no choice. He only has 2 cards, so both of them are gone. Big fan of that. Enhanced Hammer and Max Potion. I think I may actually just pitch both of these to Ultra Ball and go find another Garbodor for this Trubbish. And then Magical Ribbon, maybe try and find a DCE, and I'm going to go with maybe Flare Grunt and something else. We'll see what he ends up doing. Oh, Floatstone. Okay, love to get that. Okay, here we go. Oh, this isn't the secret rare. This is the full art Volcanion. I think he had the secret rare at one point. He may have... That may have gotten end back into his deck. Okay. Still a very pretty card. Yeah, I think we're just going to go ahead and Ultra Ball these 2 away. I'm not that worried about Max Potion. And I would like to get... Okay, so this is going to be our last Sylveon. We have no more Sylveon in the deck. We're going to have to dig one out of our prize cards. That's fine, though. Go ahead and Magical Ribbon. See what we have left. We're going to get a Hammer. Do I want to get a Field Blower? No, I think I'm good for that. Silent Lab. And I think we're going to get the DCE. We still have 3 energy left. 1 Psychic here, 1 Psychic left in the deck. So I feel pretty okay about our energy count. Okay. And at some point we may just try and Lysander up the... Oh, just drew a Choice Band. Okay. He's going to Power Heater for another 50. I may try and Lysander up the Hoopa. Let's go ahead and Crushing Hammer. And I think we just need to Silent Lab. Turn off his Steam Ups. You know what? We're actually going to VS Seeker back the Team Rocket's Handiwork. We're going... He's got 21 cards left, but any resources we can deny him, which we don't there, that's fine. I super just want a Fairy Wind and he not Magical Ribbon. Start trying to take some knockouts because he's going to keep doing damage to me, and I got the DCE for a reason. I don't really want to play just because he can pitch those energy to Steam Up and immediately put them back with Power Heater. So, Plea is really good against some decks. It's really good against things that have multi-stage evolutions. Okay, he's going to put me with 150. So he has 2 fully ready to go Volcanion, but I have 2 fully ready to go Garbodor. Since I'm going to knock this out, I'm going to hold this Flare Grunt. We're just going to go ahead and knock him out, take our prize card, and... Ooh, get Sycamore. I like that. And then we'll hope to knock out his Volcanions with our Garbodors in the coming turns. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so he straight up takes that knockout. And gonna have Flare Ground away that energy. Trash-a-Lanche. Oh, and he concedes. Okay. So we were just gonna keep Trash-a-Lanching him. So guys, that was Sylveon-Garbodor. I appreciate you guys tuning in, checking out the deck with us. We're gonna try and keep uploading on a semi-regular basis. So come back and check us out again. Delinquent Velociraptor Media. I've been Fives. You guys have a good day.